Have you ever sat down and thought to yourself, why am I interested in so many things at once? Maybe one day you're diving into art, sketching or painting, losing track of time as colors and shapes flow under your fingertips. The next week, you're coding, experimenting with Python, or building your first app. Then suddenly you're reading about entrepreneurship, learning how to start your own business. And if that's not enough, philosophy, psychology, and even astronomy somehow pull your attention, all at the same time. If this sounds familiar, you've probably heard the words, you need to focus, pick one thing, you can't do everything. Maybe it came from a teacher in school, a parent who just wants stability for you, or a friend who thinks scattered interests are a sign of indecision. And if you've ever felt that twinge of guilt after exploring something new because it wasn't part of your main path, you're not alone. Here's the truth, and it's one that most people don't realize. Having too many interests is not a sign of confusion. It's not a problem to be solved or a flaw to fix. In fact, it's one of the most powerful strengths you can have in today's world. Your curiosity, your willingness to explore, your desire to learn across multiple areas, these are the traits that are going to make you unstoppable in the M-shaped future. Now, you might be wondering, M-shaped future, what does that even mean? Simply put, it's a future where versatility and multidimensional skills aren't just appreciated, they're essential. In a world driven by rapid technology, creativity, and innovation, people who can combine knowledge from different fields, connect seemingly unrelated ideas, and pivot seamlessly from one skill to another are the ones who thrive. So today, I want you to think differently about your curiosity. I want you to stop apologizing for it. By the end of this video, you'll see that all your diverse interests aren't a distraction. They're a superpower. You'll learn exactly how to embrace your passions, leverage them strategically, and step confidently into a world that rewards people who think, create, and innovate across multiple domains. If you're ready to see your curiosity as your greatest advantage, then let's dive in. Because what you're about to discover could completely change how you see yourself and your potential. So let's talk about the concept of the M-shaped future, and why it's one of the most important ideas you need to understand if you feel pulled in many directions by your interests. For decades, the traditional path of success was clear, simple, and frankly, linear. You went to school, picked a major, graduated, got a job, and then climbed that career ladder step by step, staying focused in a single field for your entire life. Experts call this the I-shaped worker model. Deep, narrow expertise in just one area. The idea was simple. Pick a lane, stay in it, and become the absolute best in that lane. But here's the thing. The world has changed. The job market you're stepping into is nothing like the one your parents or grandparents knew. Technology is evolving at lightning speed. AI is automating repetitive work. Globalization means ideas, products, and services are moving across borders faster than ever. In this new world, being narrowly specialized can actually be limiting. Companies aren't just looking for specialists, they're looking for people who can connect multiple skill sets, adapt to change, and solve problems in innovative ways. And that's where the M-shaped model comes in. Picture the letter M. Two strong peaks, each representing deep expertise in different areas, connected by a bridge that represents versatility, the ability to move fluidly between skills, adapt to new challenges, and make connections that others might never see. An M-shaped individual isn't scattered or indecisive. Instead, they are strategically versatile. They have mastery in 2 or even more domains, and they know how to combine those skills to create something entirely new. For example, a software engineer who also understands psychology might design apps that actually change human behavior. Or an artist with a background in business could turn creative work into profitable ventures. If you find yourself curious about many things, bouncing between hobbies, learning multiple skills, or exploring completely different paths, here's the truth. Your brain is wired for this. You're not being unfocused. You're being prepared for a future that rewards flexibility, innovation, and the ability to bridge ideas in ways that single-track specialists simply can't. In short, the M-shaped person is the future, and if you embrace your multiple interests, you won't just survive in this new world, you'll thrive. Have you ever felt like society is constantly telling you to pick one thing and stick to it? That feeling of pressure to focus isn't just in your head. It's everywhere. Schools reward single-track excellence, praising students who excel in one subject, while discouraging exploration in others. Parents, often with the best intentions, push for stability, urging you to choose a career that guarantees security. Even social media feeds into this mindset, highlighting individual success stories as if there's only one path to achievement. If you don't fit that mold, you might hear labels like scattered, undecided, or even too ambitious. And that can make anyone doubt themselves, especially when all you feel is curiosity, pulling you in multiple directions. But here's the reality. The people who truly change the world rarely follow a single path. Leonardo da Vinci didn't just paint masterpieces. He was an inventor, engineer, anatomist, and scientist. Benjamin Franklin wasn't just a founding father. He was an author, printer, diplomat, and inventor. Even today, innovators like Elon Musk thrive by combining passions across technology, energy, and space exploration. Their success wasn't in focusing narrowly. It was in following multiple interests and connecting the dots others couldn't see. Being a multipotentialite, someone with many interests, isn't a flaw. It's not confusion. It's a strategic advantage. In a world that demands adaptability, creativity, and problem-solving, your ability to explore different fields, learn new skills, and combine them in unique ways is exactly what sets you apart. So the next time someone tells you to pick one thing, remember this. Your curiosity isn't a distraction, it's your superpower. And history proves that following multiple passions is often the key to true innovation and lasting impact. Let's get a little scientific for a moment. Have you ever wondered why some people naturally pursue multiple interests, hopping from coding to painting, or from music to psychology, without missing a beat? The answer lies in the way your brain is wired. Our brains are built to seek novelty and stimulation. Every time you explore something new, whether it's learning a language, experimenting with a recipe, or designing a website, your brain rewards you with a surge of dopamine, the chemical that makes you feel motivated and curious. That's why curiosity feels so good, and why it drives people like you to explore multiple passions at once. But it gets even more interesting. When you combine knowledge from different fields, your brain strengthens neural networks, creating new pathways that allow you to make connections others might miss. This is why people with diverse interests are often the most creative thinkers. They can link ideas across seemingly unrelated domains and generate innovations that single-track specialists simply can't. Take this for example, someone who loves coding and storytelling might invent the next blockbuster video game, blending technical skill with compelling narratives. Or consider a person studying psychology and design. They could create apps that don't just function well, but genuinely influence human behavior in meaningful ways. Here's the truth. Your so-called scattered interests aren't a flaw. They're not a distraction or a sign of indecision. They're actually an operating system upgrade for the modern world, equipping you with the creative agility and problem-solving power needed to thrive in the M-shaped future. So the next time you jump from one passion to another, don't apologize. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do, preparing you to combine, innovate, and create in ways the world desperately needs. So, how do you take all those passions, pulling you in different directions, and turn them into a purposeful, meaningful path? Here's a simple framework to start leveraging your multiple interests strategically. Step 1. Identify your peaks. Pick 2 or 3 areas that truly excite you. You don't need to master everything. Focus on depth in a few areas while allowing yourself breadth in others. Step 2. Build bridges. Look for ways to connect your skills. Maybe you're a marketer who loves data science. You could design AI-driven campaigns that others wouldn't even imagine. Or maybe you're an artist fascinated by psychology. You could create content that moves people on a deeper emotional level. Step 3. Experiment and iterate. Treat your interests like a laboratory. Test ideas. Combine skills in new ways. Fail fast. Learn fast. Remember, the M-shaped path is dynamic, not linear. There's no single correct sequence to follow. Step 4. Document your journey. Don't just rely on a resume. Keep a portfolio of projects, experiments, and creations. When you combine your diverse skills creatively, you'll stand out in ways that specialization alone never could. By embracing your interests strategically, you turn what society calls scattered into your biggest advantage and a path toward real impact and fulfillment. Many people hesitate to fully embrace their multiple interests because they fear being too much, too scattered, too unpredictable, or unfocused. They worry that exploring different passions will make them seem indecisive, unreliable, or even incapable of achieving real success. But here's the truth. Focus doesn't mean limiting yourself to one thing. True focus is about choosing how to spend your time strategically across your passions. It's about making deliberate decisions about where to invest your energy, not about shrinking yourself to fit someone else's narrow expectations. In fact, multipotentialites, people who thrive with many interests, are often more resilient than specialists. Why? Because if one area of your life or career faces setbacks, you have other skills, passions, and pathways to pivot toward. Your versatility becomes your safety net, your innovation engine, and your secret weapon. Here's a practical mental shift. Stop asking, "What should I focus on?" Instead, ask, "How can I combine my passions to create value?" This small reframe changes everything. Suddenly, your curiosity and versatility are no longer distractions. They're assets. They're the building blocks of a unique personal brand that no one else can replicate. When you stop apologizing for being interested in many things, you remove the pressure to conform. You start seeing your passions as tools to innovate, create, and stand out. The world isn't waiting for one-dimensional experts. It's waiting for people who can connect ideas across domains, pivot with agility, and create solutions no one else can imagine. So the next time someone tells you to settle down, focus, or stick to one thing, remember, being too much isn't a weakness. It's your superpower. Embrace it, harness it, and let it guide you toward opportunities that single-track specialists can only dream of. So, why is the M-shaped future so powerful? And why should you feel excited about it? First, innovation thrives on multiple perspectives. Fields like AI, sustainability, and entrepreneurship aren't looking for one-track specialists. They need thinkers who can bridge disciplines, connect ideas, and solve problems in ways that no single skill set can achieve. That's the M-shaped advantage. Versatility fueling creativity. Second, adaptability equals security. In today's fast-changing world, industries evolve, jobs disappear, and technology shifts overnight. People with multiple skills and passions can pivot, reinvent themselves, and find opportunities where others see dead ends. Your diverse interests aren't a risk. They're your safety net. Third, fulfillment comes from alignment. When you're able to engage with what excites you across different domains, your work isn't just a job. It's meaningful, rewarding, and energizing. Happiness in life and career often comes from combining your passions, not limiting them. Companies today aren't just hiring for specialization. They're seeking creative connectors, problem solvers, and multi-talented visionaries. In short, your curiosity, your variety of skills, and your willingness to explore multiple interests aren't flaws. They're your competitive advantage in the M-shaped future. Visual idea, futuristic workplace montage, people collaborating across different fields, colorful icons of skills like coding, art, science, and business, floating above individuals highlighting versatility and creativity. So, if you've ever felt scattered, overwhelmed, or even guilty about having so many interests, here's the truth. You're not confused. You're designed for the M-shaped future, a world that rewards curiosity, versatility, and the ability to connect multiple skills in creative ways. Your brain, your unique combination of passions, and your drive to explore are exactly what the world needs right now. The problems we face, the innovations we seek, and the opportunities waiting for you aren't solved by one-dimensional thinkers. They're solved by people who can bridge ideas, adapt, and bring fresh perspectives. So start today. Embrace your interests fully. Dive into your curiosity without apology. Build bridges between your skills, connecting them in ways that no one else could. Share your creations with the world, whether it's a project, a product, or an idea that only you could envision. Because in a rapidly evolving world, the M-shaped person doesn't just survive, they thrive. Your curiosity isn't a distraction, it's your greatest superpower. Stop apologizing for exploring multiple passions. Celebrate it. Step confidently into a future where your versatility, creativity, and wide-ranging skills aren't just valuable, they're irreplaceable. Ending screen suggestion, subscribe, plus watch next video. Upbeat, inspiring music fades out. Visuals of overlapping skills and creative projects merging into a glowing symbol of achievement.